Good evening, good morning, YouTube. Here, depending where you're at, this is Mallory George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, tomorrow is a big day, big day. The second annual, second year of the Triple O Dynasty. It is a show that I am a fan of. It's sponsored by quite a few great ladies who are Olympic competitors, multiple time Olympic competitors. We have Whitney Jones, three-time fitness champion. We have um, Cindy Gillen, the eight-time figure champion, and we have the five-time. I gotta do my Booker T. Five-time Miss Olympia, Andrea Shaw, and we're gonna do a little talk about stuff, what's going on with the show, and also maybe talk about other things going on in the world of the IFBB and women's bodybuilding. But folks, I want to work on my guests. These ladies have been here a bit. They are amazing ladies. I've interviewed them, and also they have been guests on my podcast quite a few times. We have here, first off, we're going to start off. You're going to recognize her, is one Mr. Lovely Mrs. Gabby Vega, but she's now Gabriella Morrison. You know, she just got married about last month, and congratulations.
Thank you, my friend. I'm so happy to be here to talk with you for your podcast. I'm so happy, and yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy too because I'm married now. So thank you.
I married now.
Yeah, and my husband is here with me. Actually, since last year, he was supporting me on the shows, which is so nice. Because I was telling you before we start the interview that I have some years, several years competing, and I used to do everything by myself. And now it feels so different when someone is supporting you and helping you and yeah, taking care, So yeah, I'm so lucky and so happy and so grateful.
You're looking best. Gabrielle's competing tomorrow at Triple Dynasty. She's doing both Open and Masters. Last year she took second to Teresa Vasic, who's coming in as the defending champion, and she also won the women's over 40 class, which also qualifies her for this year's upcoming Masters Olympia. Also, another lady we have here who's it's a kiss. We haven't had her for a long time, and you know what? Today is a special day for this lady. We have the lovely Miss Lori A. Conley, and folks, we're gonna do some happy birthday to
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
Happy
happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday, happy
birthday
birthday, happy birthday to
to
you.
Thank you so
How
much.
old are you?
Oh, you know what? I don't hide my age. I am 55 today.
Wow, I mean,
I
you.
know. I know.
yeah,
That's
I'm
a,
I tell you,
masters. I'm masters and then some.
yeah. I just had
that's
an
a,
interview. I know it was a while back. I think Christine Work. She just turned 55 too, and I think it was
Yeah.
like it was end of the month around about March. It was like Monday when she turned 55. I mean, y'all ladies. I mean, I can't. I'm 50, and y'all look in better shape than I am. And I'm
If you
just
don't think bodybuilding is the fountain of youth, I mean, look at us.
yeah, yeah. I've been drinking out the fountain the Kool-Aid too much. So, ladies, as we know, things are going on in the bodybuilding world quite a bit. And one thing we talk about is the Triple O Dynasty. It's the return of this show. It's a great show where it gives the opportunity for both women bodybuilding and figure. Last year it had women's physique, but one of the sponsors fell out. I think it was Natalia who sponsored the last year. I think she's focusing on now with the new show coming up, Brazil, and now it's just figure in women's bodybuilding, and also a good payday. I think this is probably one of the biggest payday outside of the Olympia and Rising Phoenix. $7,000. That's a big chunk of change.
yes, that's last year when I came and compete. Cindy was telling that she was going to put more money for the next year, and same Andra. And I don't want to tell, but I just talked with Andrea today on the check-ins, and she's planning to even increase for next year for women
Beautiful.
the price for the show. So I think that's amazing, and I think like competitors like them that know all the effort that they step the stage, they appreciate what is exactly the being a woman and being figure or being whatever division, and so they really love the sport and do things for the sport, do things for the athletes, and that's amazing. They are really people that they are really queens, right?
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'm a fan of Andrea. She's doing good work. I also know a lady who is also a good friend of mine who's also helping to sponsor, Women's Bodybuilding. That is Eunice Kitchen. You see right now, Lori wearing her Bad Rap shirt. She's a Bad Rap ambassador. And Eunice has put up some of the prize money for Women's Bodybuilding. And also, she's putting up the jerseys for the winners of their divisions.
Yeah, I know. I know in Nice too, because she speaks Spanish, and and
Yeah, I love Eunice. She's
so
the best.
she's so nice. And yeah, another passionate, another person that really loves the sport. And yeah, I hope that one day I can also contribute other than just competing. But competing is not cheap, no, and so yeah, but always is so nice to have these shows, especially for women's bodybuilding, because there are not a lot, and then some are still like almost dropping, no.
Yeah,
But we need to keep together all the community and yeah, compete and make the division keep going.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think as long everyone needs to keep showing up and doing everything they can to promote. Like I love supporting the other women in the sport. Always cheering everyone on, all the competitors. And yeah, because the hits, I feel like the hits keep coming to us lately. It's like it's hard, and it's a very hard sport. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. And then then they take away shows or and things like that. And it's like I heard Chelsea say something about she almost you do it makes you sad, like you keep working hard and you're striving hard and you feel like it's kind of working against you, but I feel like everyone's starting to come together. Like the women are really coming together to support each other and be like, okay, we can if we stick together, we can make this happen. And that's why I like supporting Eunice and Bad Rap and Triple O Dynasty and still back behind Wings of Strength because you know um, you can get a little caught up in the business of bodybuilding and forget that it's going to disappear if we don't stick together and go to the shows and compete. Like we need to compete. Like I know there's a tendency to do like one big show or do a big show, and it's like you need to. And I realize like this year I'm gonna probably do more than one show. Try to do 2 to 3 shows because you need to get out there and compete to keep to keep the divisions going too. They need to
Yeah.
see us.
Yeah, and also, like I say, one thing is it's expensive to compete. As you know, the travel, because like I said, Gabriella's already qualified for the Masters Olympia, which is going to be in Japan this year. You are
Mhm.
also, I think you also qualified for the
No, I
Masters
was
too.
gonna put in an application, but once again, Romania was very super expensive. Romania was a good amount of money, and so this year I'm actually going to do a few shows and just try to and qualify or put an application. But yeah, there's no way I could do that many shows and go overseas and
Yeah,
afford
yeah,
it all. It was a lot,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Definitely, I'm
Japan
looking
just
if they're doing it every 2 years, and I'll definitely try to do 2027 and just
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
qualified.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
you got to do is just like pick a show. Like you can do a show this year. I think I think
I
the
already got a
stop.
couple picked out for this year, so
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I think a stop limit for this year's because I think most everybody who's like got grandfathered in from the 2023, and then other competitors who got theirs last year and maybe some for this year. But it's a lot of stuff about the traffic route, and talking about shows. Like we heard a while back. Tampa Bay was dropped. Women bodybuilding was dropped from Tampa Bay, and I also think it might be Chicago too, from what I'm seeing. People telling me
that's
that.
like then those are staple shows for bodybuilding women, So to drop those shows is a little heartbreaking. Like when I heard they
Yeah,
dropped Tampa, I was sad. I was like, that's like so many women have qualified at that show for Olympia, and it's a great Masters show too. You know, it's a great just all around show. So yeah, that was a little heartbreaking. I was like,
Yeah,
about that.
I know that was what you were talking about, Gabby. When Chelsea was talking about, because that was, she did an interview with Nicole Zenobia and Sharonda Hinton, I think last week on their podcast. She talked about how sad it is because she's just coming back. She took some time off last year. She was doing some photography work, like I think she was doing stuff for Women's Swing, and also was at Tampa last year. And yeah, I can, you put in that time, you work, and you want to have a place so you can compete and present your body. Well, anyway, ladies, I have a gentleman here who wants to make a comment. Give me a second, let me bring him up. This is Chad Davis. Says, "Hey, brother George, it's your boy, brother Chad. So glad to be here on the podcast today on this sad day, 57th anniversary date of Dr. King assassination. Oh wow, we shall overcome. Oh, thank you, brother. Oh wow, yeah, it's a great man, great man." And also, he says, "Happy birthday again to you, Miss Lori. It's your guy, Chad Davis, again, and give you a huge birthday shout out. As I promised, I hope you remember me." And
I do.
also, Chad says, "Miss Gabriella, great to meet you as well." And
Thank
also, this
you.
is from my man Chad again. He says, "Miss Lloyd, could you flex for me, please, to birthday?" Dude, come on. You got your little flex there, Chad. Now you put away your tissue and your lotion, you're happy. Okay. All right. All right. You got a little buffet.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I fill up the screen. That makes me happy. There's not enough screen.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
It's a bodybuilder for you, right? Like,
yeah, well, he said this. He said to me, he says, "Quite, brother George, just messing." Just he said whatever. But yeah, there was going to be bodybuilding Texas Pro, but then that dropped it, and I was wondering what happened because that's promoted by Battle Up. It's the thing is, I've actually heard it's sponsorship and try to find people interested in supporting it. And the good thing is, even though that I wasn't too happy when I heard about what happened with Wings of Strength, but I always felt like there should have been more of an open show for competitors. But I think what Jake's doing is trying to put the money out so we can really help out the divisions a bit, getting sponsorship, and Alita Popa, what she's doing also, because that's the show she won back in 2018 and got her qualification for the Rising Phoenix that same year.
Mhm.
Yeah. But hey, folks, what we'll do is we'll jump over here because we're gonna look into the Triple O site because they're posted great show. They're really, really, really putting up something for the people out there. And you see here, if you see, the prize money for women's for figure is $9,000 and $7,000 for women's bodybuilding. And also, they got some nice little. I remember last year, Eunice told me she helped out with the goodie bags because they got nice little goodie bags here. Y'all got yours, Gabby?
I think that was for the open. Yeah, for the open division.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I won the.
Go ahead.
But last year, Bad Rat, they sponsor a shirt for all the competitors, customized with her last name. For all the competitors that made their registration before, like at the beginning. So that was very nice. And this year they are sponsoring the jackets for the winners. So yeah, that's so nice.
Yeah, because
that really,
was
the really nice bomber jackets, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are really good.
Oh, that jacket right there. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is from a live stream we did a while back with Eunice.
I saw they're going to be getting some good representation at the Triple O.
Yes, we
from
are.
what I can see.
Yeah. What we did is we contributed towards the prize money for the women's bodybuilding, and so we also got Alex Andrews, who wanted to sponsor one of our varsity jackets for the winner of the women's bodybuilding, and then we're also going to be giving one of our Bad Rap varsity jackets to the figure champion. So we're excited about that. Like you said, lots of representation. So we're excited.
So
Yeah, and it's good that what she's doing. Bad Rap has been doing pretty good. I mean, you got people like right here. I just interviewed a while back Michelle Brent. She's wearing a Bad Rap shirt. She's a pretty cool lady. I enjoyed talking with her. And you have Andrea here, who's really supporting. And here we have one of the Bad Rap ambassadors, the lovely Miss Lori. This is from the Grand Prix that was last year. And also, I heard that show is coming back, and both of y'all competed. What was that like? I know I was talking with Tina, and she said she really enjoyed it. And I was talking to also with Keith. He said that he really liked, how the show gave opportunity for y'all ladies. So, what was that experience like for you when you did the Grand Prix last year for both of you?
I liked it. I thought it was a well-run show.
I love that show. I love that show. I think the energy of the promoter is so big that they are guys that likes to makes everything more exciting, like
Mhm.
the interviews and everything. And was also more crowded show because was at the end almost of the season. So yeah, I love that show. It also was a lot of people, a lot of public because LA is, well, it's more about that area, and the bodybuilding over there is more like popular, I guess. So yeah, that was a very very good show. I love it, and yeah, I love the way that they promote the show and they make the interviews and everything.
It was well run. It's like I'm like really big kind of like like the tanning was really good. Makeup and hair was really good. They had the people that they had backstage were really good. Expediting was good. There were things that too that make a bodybuilding show really good. And like the people who backstage who run the show were just awesome. Just everything they did backstage for the athletes was really good. Like especially in bodybuilding, a pro tan can make or break you. See, like all our tans are awesome. See how all our faces match, and all the tans are plenty dark. So that's always a good sign. So everybody
Yeah,
looks good. If you could take
I
And
a
think you had a lot.
so
Yeah, because
brought
you have.
some
Yeah,
some for after backstage. I remember I brought some cakes and
yeah,
pizza. Do you remember? Yeah.
yeah, that
So
cake.
that's
It was a lot of
yeah.
fun. It was a really good show. It was a lot of
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. We have here a comment from a man again. Chad Davies says, Brother George, thank you for the podcast. Ladies, you look great tonight. You two are doing a great job. Appreciate it. Also, my man Lawrence Perkins coming through. Shout out to Lawrence. He says this. He
Hey,
says, Good
Lawrence.
evening, Lori. Happy birthday. And Gabrielle. I appreciate that. He also says this. He says, and everyone on the chat. Appreciate that. And also, he says this. He says, uh, Gabrielle, congratulations on your marriage as well. May God continue to bless you and your family
Oh,
tree as well.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes,
Lawrence
like
is a
folks.
great
Yeah,
fan. He's a great
yeah.
fan.
I
He's a
mean,
fan.
yeah, it's good
Yeah,
that you, like
yeah.
I said, we were talking earlier. It's good that you found somebody that loves you and supports you, especially as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if like as a woman, I was talking with a client of and telling her how difficult it's being like a bodybuilder, especially when I'm from Mexico and in countries that are more conservative, more traditional, and they definitely don't like girls like like that, and so yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. The here I see the mindset of people is really different.
Mhm. I think here in America we're a little bit more open, but also we still have some ideals that are kind of old fashioned. When it comes
Yes.
down to women and muscle, I mean, we're not perfect. Right now we're in a mess. So, but yeah, it's good that you found somebody you love and he supports you and he loves you and your family. We're gonna pull up here, folks. Also, this and this is a picture. We're gonna go to her IG right here. This she. Oh, here's one here, right? Um, Here, this is like something post her getting ready. Look at folks. She's just posing, and showing off. I saw this on my man, on Female Bodybuilding Channel, and also my man, David Bryant posted it. Wow, you look really good.
I sent
Yeah.
that video to David. David is a good friend of mine, and he came to the Triple O Dynasty last year, and he has a podcast too.
Mhm.
So and we made an interview, short interview. He was making interviews for everybody, and she asked me for a video on my post with my posing suit before the show, and I said, okay, I'm going to send the video. And then when he received the video, he asked me, can I post it? And I said, oh yeah, post it if you want, and I don't have any problem. Because sometimes, like Chelsea was talking about that, like as a competitor, you want to be focused on the show, and you usually don't like to show how is your condition or whatever. And sometimes it's true, but it's not. Because also it's nice to show how you are progressing, and that people knows how is the process, right? That
Mhm.
you may start with certain percentage of fat, but then you are doing things that is going to improve your condition. So yeah, that video was like 3 days ago, I think. What that was
Yeah.
like on Wednesday,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Here you go with your husband, Steven. He's like a nice guy. You look like a nice dress, and it looks pretty. Really
Oh,
nice.
I
You flexing and pumping.
And
The
the
guys are
flag.
gonna love. You gotta do a flex, especially in a wedding dress. The guys love it. He's on the knees. When's y'all two meet?
Steve is a very, very happy guy. Very, very funny. And he always likes that I flex. So he asked me to flex on the church, and I was like, oh my God. But
That's awesome.
and then yeah, but he's amazing, really. He's an amazing man.
Yeah, well, like I said, he's proud of his wife and he loves his wife. He supports her, and that's good. And Lori, you're a married woman. I know your husband loves to support what you're doing.
Forever I've been married. It's okay. I know I'm a
Mhm.
big believer in stability. I've worked hard to be this boring. So I don't know. I think that bodybuilding's hard. So having a nice, stable home is such, and having a man who supports you, and it's really just it just makes it everything so much easier. Like you just be able to have know that someone supports you 100% in everything you do, and yeah, it helps because some days it's hard. Sometimes you hit your walls, and you're like, and that person can help like pick you up, and he'll make like there was so I was like eating salmon for like months, right? And to the point I just couldn't even take it anymore. I couldn't smell it. I didn't want to look at it. I could eat it. I could eat it. I could eat the meal if you put it in front of me. So I got to the point where Aaron would just cook that salmon meal at night, and he'd be like, because I couldn't even deal with it anymore. I'd hit such a wall with the fish. And he was like, he finally just was like, okay, I'll cook the fish meal, just eat it. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. So that
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. She knows what
I
I'm
can't.
talking about. Those weird bodybuilding things that you are behind the scenes, and the lack of sleep, and and at the end, and you're roaming around the house, and they're just. It's nice to have that. I'm almost getting a little teary eyed. That kind of support is priceless. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me personally, I can't remember. Like, I hadn't ate fish in years. I don't like. I used
Ugh.
to like the taste of it. The smell is one thing. I know it's when it's fried fish is one thing, but like I know I talked to Lacey. They love sushi. I'm sorry. I grew up poor, and one thing I
I'm
never
with you,
did.
George. I've eaten so much rice and fish. And the last thing I want to eat after a bodybuilding show is go out for sushi. I was like, no.
Yeah, especially cold raw fish.
I
No,
like
thank
fish.
you.
Huh?
No,
What?
no.
What do you
It's
say,
like
Gabby?
I don't like fish neither. Like eating the tilapia, it's
Oh,
like um, it's
oh,
difficult. It's difficult, but it is what it is. So
it
if
is
we
what
meet,
it is. It is what it
we-
is. That's why,
yeah,
yeah, that's why Aaron, he like stepped up to the plate and he's like, okay, I'll cook it. Just eat it. And I was like, fine. I go, oh.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a comment from me, Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. He says, "The art of strength," and I hope you ladies are Gabby have fun on stage for the Triple O Dynasty. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank
Also, he says, "This says big shout out to Steve to have a queen in his life, and same to you, Miss Lori." Thank you, brother. And also, he says, "That's what I be cooking." Fried fish. Ha 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 ha. No, thank you. We have here Damon J coming through. Damon J says, just saw Sherry Prami on the Olympia TV channel doing an interview with Linda Murray and Alina Popa. KL was there asking Sherry to flex too, so he had a great time. Well, I might check it out because I heard that Sherry's not competing this year. She was dealing with some medical issues. She had to take a step back, and also I think she's helping her boyfriend get ready to compete. And she's a great lady. I had her on here a couple of times. You think with her now out, if it kind of changed the playing field now, when you have people like Sherry Promisation not competing this year. I heard Julia Wetzel's not competing this year because she did compete at the Triple O last year and she competed at the Vancouver Isle show. So y'all feel like when certain people are out, that kind of changes opportunities, especially for Olympic qualification.
Mm,
Yeah, I heard that interview with Sherry and Chelsea and Amandina. And yeah, I personally admire a lot Sherry because she made a lot of improvements. I mean, very impressive physique. And I heard she was having some issues, hormonal issues. And of course, as a women, we need to take care of that first than anything. Our health is first.
mm,
And yeah, um, I always have been concerned about health and hormones and the rest of the things that we need to take care. Um, and trying to be careful always with everything.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to step away when you're at that level. So, I know she probably had to think, she thought long and hard because your first intuition is how can I work around it? How can I push through it? But to be able to be at that level and have worked on your physique that hard, those are hard decisions to have to make. But if it's, sometimes if you just give it 8 to 9 months, those situations can rectify themselves, and in the long run she can come back and be a better competitor. But you need to to be able to take a deep breath and be able to handle those situations as they come up and go, okay, this is what I need to do for the next 6 to 8 months to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you don't want to mess around with your hormones, your liver, your kidneys, things
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah. All that, because it's important. Your body's the thing, most important thing that keeps you going. You want to make sure everything's good. And also, she has 3 kids. I know her oldest daughter is a nun right now. She's she's a nun. She's certified. I think
that. Absolutely
last
love
year.
that. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Then I think her oldest son, just graduated from high school. I think he's going to college, and she still has her youngest son at the home. And you know what? As a mother, you want to be around for your children. I remember when she made a debut back in 2022, she was on fire. She was even had points, but she had to take a step back because her daughter got sick, and it was important for her to take care of her child. And she has a job. She works as a dental hygienist. That's good money. But like I said, bodybuilding is a passion. You have to love it. You have to really, really want to get into it and understand it. We have here, David J has a comment. He says, Teresa Voxer will win the Triple O. I feel. Maybe. That's a guess, brother. Yeah, we had one
Well,
lady right here.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure.
honestly, I thought it was, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because other girls join the show this year, other than Teresa last year, um, that are really good,
You're
really
really
good.
good. There's some
Yeah,
wild cards in there that are really gonna and well, you're really good because you already looked dry 3 days ago, so I can't imagine what you're gonna look like when you're totally dried out. So, and the judges love you. They you know, you judge very well, and that's a good thing, man. That's really, you know, your experience shows. So, I mean, I don't think it's in the bag for anybody.
Yeah, because
That's
I
my
know
word.
because
That's excitement, no?
yeah,
Because
because
you never know what
yeah,
anything can
You
happen.
never know. Like people, I've seen people 3 or 4 days out a week, and you're like, man, that girl is gonna just destroy. And then they get on stage like, what happened? You
yeah,
know. So, but
because
also, I did think it was gonna kind of. There's also a little bit of popularity contest. So I thought it was gonna kind of be a battle between maybe Chelsea and Teresa, just because they're the kind of that thing. But now there's some wild cards in there, and now you're like, just see how it all lines up.
yeah, like one
That's what I'm
person
gonna watch. I really want to see the show because it could go many
one,
directions.
one lady I interviewed a while back, that's Tiana Flex, Holzhausen, and she looks pretty good. You know, she hadn't competed in almost 2 years. She lives in South Africa. That's a long way to come to the States to do a show.
Yeah.
And and Svika looks pretty good. I mean, she looks like she's getting a little tired. She has a good amount of size because she did the Rising Phoenix last year. She did Atlanta, where she got her master's qualification at. She couldn't crack the top. Like, this is a comment from a man. Damien says, he says Chelsea, Salika, and Mela are also competing. They will probably be the top five. Definitely, we know that. Yeah. And also, he says, I feel Gabriella will be in the top five with those ladies. I can see it from here, sure. And also, he says this: we got to promote the sport in a healthy way. Yeah. But the thing is, there are some aspects of it's kind of unhealthy. And that's the thing that it's hard to promote something that people don't understand. That's why I do these podcasts and have ladies like yourself on here. I try to have them on my regular Monday because I know I usually have Lori, but Lori's busy. She's getting ready. I understand.
Yeah, the Monday thing, it's just like my Monday got crazy.
Yeah. And and I know some other ladies that shooting and focusing on some shows. And you ladies, you already talked about what shows are y'all planning besides because I know Gabrielle, you last year you wanted to do the Vancouver show, but then some stuff happened, you couldn't do it.
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, last year what happened is that that I'm Mexican, right?
Hmm.
So my passport is from Mexico. So I wanted to go to Vancouver last year after the triple O, but the problem when I checked by internet, Canada just changed the law for Mexicans in February last year. So they say now if you are Mexican, you need to apply for a visa to enter to Canada. So then I had to do the process. And I was like crazy calling and doing this and sending emails and explaining and doing it and see if the embassy can give me a visa like before or a little faster. But no, they the process was not long, but was not too short neither, so I couldn't get the visa in 15 days. So they gave me the visa, but unfortunately, I couldn't travel to Vancouver because my passport, even when I live here, um, because my status is as a worker. I'm changing my status now because I got married, but in that time I was a worker and I was not able to um, travel to Canada as an American citizen because an American citizen doesn't need anything to go to Canada. And in the past, Mexicans, we can just download like a permit from internet, but again, they changed the law just 2 months or 1 month before.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh no. But I
Yeah.
really think that was a big opportunity that I had. And God, I just always put everything in the hands of God. And I say, well, things happen for some reason, even if I don't understand the reason in this moment, but we will see later. This year I will go to Vancouver after this triple O and see what happens.
Well, we should best up there because I think I know Melanie Horton might be doing that show. in women's bodybuilding because she did it last year, and she did Toronto. Then she got sick. She took some time off, but now I follow Melanie. She looks in good shape. So again, Julia's not doing the show this year because she's not competing. I think Lena Patek. I thought she was going to do Triple O again, but she might be doing this show. I'm not certain. I follow Lena. She looks in good shape. She might be doing that, or she might just wait and do Atlanta because she lives in Virginia. It's not too far from her. You know, it could be opportunity. I hope we get some bodies to it because, you know, I hope some ladies would think about it. I think I heard Mila Ash in an interview with Glenn from Amazon Fitness Magazine. She's planning on doing New York after this, and that's in another month or so. I think I'm hearing
Well,
rumblings.
I know Chelsea is going to do Vancouver too.
Yeah, so that's a great opportunity. That's close to the West. It's hard to get in there because, you know, I think, well, you can go to Washington State, take a ferry from, I think, Spokane, and can get in the back way. Because I think, I remember when Sherry went that year, she said she had to take 2 or 3 flights to get there. And then
Yeah.
even if you live in Canada, it's just as hard to get to Vancouver.
Yeah, because it's like an island, right? It's like
It's British
it's
Columbia.
not
It's like,
like,
yeah, it's like,
You have to take a boat or a small plane.
yeah,
So.
boat ferry, you know, every rest of the way. I mean, that's
But they're
even
good
that's
shows because they're early shows. And if you can do early shows, if you have the size, like you've been competing long enough that you're constantly refining, and you can do early shows. They're very strategic to get if you can get into early shows.
yeah.
Like because as the year goes on and people start getting in more condition, then the field start to expand and a little bit. So yeah, if I could do early shows, I would definitely. That's the move to make.
Okay.
So.
We will get comment from a man, Damon. Shout out to Damon. He says this. He says, femininity in women's bodybuilding is so very, very important. That's what helps the division succeed. Well, I think also helps it maybe more promotion than money does. You know, it does help it. It's amazing how Gabrielle surpassed Julia Wetzel last year at the Triple O Dynasty. That's an accomplishment, placing higher than a Miss Olympian competitor for you, Gabby. Yeah, because I think, you know, she reached Olympia in 2022, no, 2023, and she went back last year. And here you also have here from Damon. He says this. He says, "I'm interested in see if you can get Julia Wetzel on for an interview, if that's possible." Well, I remember a while back, a couple years ago, I was going to have an interview with her, but then something happened. I went to my cardiologist. He saw some of my blood. He sent me to the emergency room and had to cancel that interview. I reached out to her. Maybe we'll try to set something up down the road. I know some of you ladies are busy. At one point, sometimes, you know, I try to get you on and you say, hey, you ladies come on my podcast. And then I get kind of pissed off. So, you know what? I'm tired of y'all. You ain't nothing but a bunch of, as a old school wrestler used to say, Captain Redneck, Big Murdoch, he says, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of yellow belly egg sucking dogs. But I know like ladies are busy. And then some ladies are shy. Here's the thing is, you're coming on here talking about bodybuilding. It's not going to be about anything else. You shouldn't be shy. It's about talking about you and sharing your story. Like what's going on now here is, you know, Tampa was lost women's bodybuilding, and then Jake came along again and he saved it. Tamer, he's bringing back the Grand Prix, and you got the Rising Phoenix now changing to an open show. That's an opportunity, especially for a lot of competitors that live out west. You have the Grand Prix coming up. I hope that's going to be next year's Olympia. And you got Triple O, that's in Arizona. You got you got Rising Phoenix in Arizona, and also you get the other shows. But you know, it's an opportunity for it. All righty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
All right.
Are you planning then, Lori, to do the Rising Phoenix and Anaheim too?
I'm gonna do Rising Phoenix. I don't know if I'm gonna do Anaheim. I'm gonna do Atlanta this year. I
Oh,
want Tampa, but then my coach decided that for some reason we're going to do Atlanta, which is fine. Either or, they're very close. So, and they both have good masters. They're both great shows. Linda Murray puts on a great show. So I love supporting that show too because it's a Linda Murray show. So that's always cool. And she's always been very super kind to me. Like she's always gives me props, and I appreciate all her feedback. And and then definitely probably do Rising Phoenix and just do some Masters shows too to go for that qualification. And I just want to keep seeing how I can do an Open too. So, but yeah, I would love to do earlier shows because I'm just always kind of like ready to roll. But we just decided that this is, I think, I've only been this is only my second or third year as a pro. So I'm a late bloomer. I started late, but better late than never. And then we just decided that like I needed to put on make overall improvements, because I would love to do a strategically earlier show, but he's like, we just need to make some overall improvements and bring things up. And then I was like, so I understood that. So I'm just like eating and being patient. Eating all my fish and all my salmon and my mountains of rice, and I didn't realize that eating could be a job, and yes, it's become a fun job now. And yes, like if I don't get, I was just telling Aaron, I'm like, if I don't get up and start eating by like 6:30, I'm like, I'm behind. Like I get behind. I'm eating at like 11 o'clock at night, and then because I was staying a little leaner. I think I was staying a little bit too lean the last couple of years, and I feel like I actually I got a little. I was not going in a direction that I wanted to go. So this year we're gonna do it on, but it takes patience. What's funny is bodybuilding is patience. It takes so much patience. It's like people don't. It's a long haul sport. Like things don't happen overnight. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, we have a comment here from a man. From a man, says, "What's the name of y'all coach and current coaches?" Well, like I said, they'll tell you if you want to know. You can follow this on social media, but Gabby has to go because she has to do some.
Yeah, show.
Yeah, we don't want to hold up too long. I would like to say we watch like I said, I'm gonna watch the live stream because I want to support it. I wish you all the best of luck, Mrs. Morrison.
Yes, Gabby.
Thank you so much, guys. I love it to be here
Congratulations.
talking to you, and thank you for all the support. I will do my best. I unfortunately need to go to the tan. You know how is that? And then yeah, I will see something nice to eat before the show. And enjoy that meal. That is one of the best meals of all our lives when you are a bodybuilder.
That meal. Have you picked your meal? What is going to be your meal?
A burger, of course, a burger. That's what the coach said. He is my friend more than my coach. I do most of the things by myself for the person that asked. But this person, he knows me since I was 18 years old in Mexico. He's from Mexico. He's a very good coach. He have helping me through many years when I was younger, competing in Mexico, and so he knows my body very well. But at this point, I know my body very well. So I do most of the times things by myself and just we talk about, oh, I'm doing this, what do you think? And then he says, well, do more this, eat more that, and some details for these days that sometimes you are not 100% objective on how you look, so then you need someone else watching you and say, okay, you need this, that. That's the way that we work. And his name is Octavio Servin.
All right,
Nice.
cool. Yeah. But we have, before we let you go, we have here a gentleman who comes in popping and says, he says this, my man, balls deep. He's coming in the phrase says, good evening, gorgeous queens. Thank you. And also he says, his moniker, he says, Chicago in here as usual. And also he says, peace and blessings, beautiful ladies. And support from him. Thank you, brother. Says, smash the like button. And he says to me, he says, salute George. I appreciate that, brother. And also his other favorite moniker, he says, Schmo gang. So yes, we are part of the gang. So we're not going to keep Gabby too long. We wish you best of luck. You look, from what I've seen, you look great. And I hope you do well at the show.
Thank you, guys. I promise I will do my best tomorrow to do my best presentation on stage. But most of the work is done at this point. It's just trying to enjoy the show, trying to um, don't be so nervous, don't be so
Yes.
nervous, and just posing and everything, and feel the excitement. Um, that's what we are going to do.
Well, here we
Thank
got my man KL says, KL the one says, good luck. Appreciate that, brother. And also, Damon says, you are lovely, Gabby. Good luck to you, Queen.
thank
And also, he says, I call all women IFB Pro Queens because that's what you are. Ah, thank you, man.
definitely.
Thank you so
You are
much. We
right.
appreciate it. So
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, I appreciate that. So, we wish you best of luck and thank you for coming through.
Hey,
It's
thank you.
it's
I'll
fun.
text you and I'll see you at the gym.
Yeah,
Mwah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun. My
I
fantasy.
hope I see you soon.
Yeah, my fantasy.
Yes.
I had two chicks at the same time on here, but they're both married, so I can't do nothing with them.
And we live next to each other, which is crazy. So
Yeah, we
that's so
live very
cool.
close. Hmm.
Yep. Yep. We got gyms in common, and now we're both married ladies. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, married
Congratulations.
ladies. Yeah,
Love you, sweet.
congratulations. Yeah,
Okay, guys.
Get your
So bye
rest.
bye.
Get your
Thank you so
tan.
much,
yeah.
and keep enjoying the interview.
All righty, we appreciate it. So, good luck to you. We like to say congratulations, best of luck to the lovely Mrs. Gabrielle Morrison. And tomorrow, folks, the Triple O Dynasty is going to be 9 o'clock East Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. So for you us on the East, we got enough time. Hey, go ahead and do what you got to do. Wash your butt, take a shower, get your clothes, and then just watch it. Just that's the help. If people go to shows, watch the shows, promote the
Shout
shows.
out. It's only
Yeah,
$40 for the live stream.
and
Yeah,
Any
all,
and
support that
yeah,
we can
it's a big
get. So
way
that's
to
yeah.
support
It's
support the division.
yeah. I already paid. I already put my pre-order in, and they're gonna take it out of my check when it's on Monday. I can't wait. I mean tomorrow. I can't wait. But we'll let
big
Gabby
time.
go and we wish you best of luck. And we got here, and just take care of yourself. All right.
All right.
Go get your
Thank you.
tan.
Send you a big
All
hug to both of you.
Bye,
righty.
Bye
sweetie.
bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Well, we got here my buddy Lori. We had not been with her
Yeah,
for a
I've got
while.
about another 10, 15 minutes, and then I have to eat. It's almost 7:30 here. So
Well, appreciate the time to give it to me. So, like I said, things are really, right now in bodybuilding, there's a lot going on. As a fan, I'm kind of, I wish there was more people willing to step up and do their part for the division. Especially for y'all ladies, because even with women's physique, there's religious shows. I know I interviewed a lady a while back. She was the last physique competitor to win the Reno show, the sports fest. And I interviewed a lady also competed at that show a while back. They even dropped figure from that show. And now you have the new fit model division. Excuse me. you know, um,
oh yeah, I don't know. I like everybody. I work at a gym where we have a lot of bikini and stuff competitors, and when they get down to that pro level, they're working pretty hard. They suffer like the rest of us. They really do, and I'm glad I don't have to get that thin. But
well, where some people say, I remember my man Jeremy. He did his live stream say like, he had Trish Wood on there. He says Trish says it's a basic bitch division. It's I think some people see it like it's not really bodybuilding in their mindset, but they still have to work out and train, but it's a different level compared to even if you look at bikini now. How the girls are getting more defined. They're getting.
see, that's my only thing is how are you going to keep this division from doing that? Because as women train, as you just keep training, it's inevitable that you're going to put on, even if you're trying not to put on mass, that you're going to get a little fitter, a little bigger, and you're going to get a little harder. So that's going to take a lot of work to keep it more of a model-y look, which is what I understand. It's more of a fit model division. And where bikini has gotten really just like harder, and because I see these bikini girls now, and they look like figure girls, and the figure girls look like physique girls, and then so I think it's just inevitable when you just train, and the training is accumulative, and it takes a lot of work to keep that all downsized. So it'll be interesting seeing how it progresses if they can keep it that sort of fit model. But I understand because they get seas of girls, so you really have to have like an it factor to stand out. Like I didn't realize the subtle nuances of it until I actually sat down with a couple of my friends who are pro coaches and elite pros themselves, you know, down to the hair flicking and how they turn and look over their shoulder and get one more judge to look at them. It's really kind of crazy when they get into it. But anyway.
Yeah, 'cause a while back, I interviewed a couple of ladies that earned their pro cards at the Universe. They said there was like 600 competitors at that show. And you got to think about it. You really had to stand out to beat out like 600, like at least 600 other women to get your pro card. And depending what division you're in. We have a comment from shout to my man here, Chad. He says, wish Miss Gabriella the best. And now it's my lovely friend, Miss Lori, just on the podcast now. You enjoyed your birthday, sweetie. Also,
I know. I'm actually not on prep. I actually got to have like cake and a steak. And I told them, you know, my birthday present was to sit and eat like a normal person day. I'm not going to like, I'm gonna have my birthday present is I'm gonna sit on like, I mean, I ate all my meals, but I just, you know, I threw meals I wanted in there. So it was, it's kind of fun because usually I'm on prep or something. And so there's like birthday, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I think you should try and enjoy yourself. Find a little balance. I know sometimes I'm, you know, I try to eat a little smarter, but even though I'm still a fat man at heart, I like this
I think all bodybuilders are fat men at heart. That's
like this afternoon, I picked up a thing of it was like a sweet chicken teriyaki thing, and I ate some of them, and you know, I had some Mexican food. I had it a good while. I was, you know, went to this place across from Walmart and walked over there, and you know, and got something to eat because you know I was kind of hungry. I wanted something different, you know. So then I get tired of baked chicken or something like that. I wanted something different, so I got myself a, you know, a nice chicken. A cheese fajita with peppers and onions and rice and the little side salad with the cheese and you know, I ate that. I enjoyed that. You know,
see, I'm in California. We got like I live in California. There's like Mexican food on every corner. You would love it out here.
Yeah, I don't eat it too often. If we get a chance to try to, I'm more of a fan of Chinese food. You know, the buffet place. You know, that's what I like. But you know, there used to be one here in my town, but when we had a big storm hit and then the place closed down and no one ever opened it up again. Here we got a comment.
Oh, and I have a question for you too about the honestly, because now we can talk. Who do you think? Like, I know you, because we got wild cards now that Mila Ash decided 2 weeks out she's going to jump in. So, and I think so who's your wild card pick for tomorrow?
I think I might say Mila.
She was my wild card too.
But if, like I said, if Teresa comes in, because one thing, if Teresa comes in and she has her back in condition, that's how she won most of her shows, because of her back. If her back is top stellar condition,
I don't know, she's got some serious size and her conditioning is sick. So she's like from head to toe has made it improved.
Yeah, so. I know a while back, Mila had gotten an accident after she came back from the Romanian Muscle Fest, and then she, in an interview with Glenn, she said that she was dealing with an injury. She felt like she should have took last year off. And I know I was talking to Tina, you know, Tia Williams, you know, she knows to say, yeah, we said she should have took last year's off because she did come in good shape, but she still feel like she wasn't as tight when she like I think back when she first started in bodybuilding 2020. And, you know, the last couple of years, she was just kind of just going along a little bit. But then I think, you know, one thing is that it takes her a while because she'll go to shows out of the country and travel, but sometimes it can affect how you look if you go out of state. Like she went to the Romanian Muscle Fest again last year.
That flight's no joke. That's a 16-hour flight, and if anything, like I ended up doing a 10-hour layover in Munich. Your body is a disaster. You can be a complete, Like when I did Masters Olympia, I was wiped out. Just that traveling really does a number on you. As soon as you go up in a plane for more than a few hours, it's sort of what your body decides to do for you.
Yeah. We got a comment from a man, Chad. He says, I wish I was there to share some cake and ice cream with you and sing for you. Also, my man Chaos says, they probably have 70 fit models on the stage and you probably couldn't tell who won. Yeah, he says that. And also, my man Chad says, I love soul food. Yeah, I love soul food, especially my mom was cooking.
Soul food. And I'm in the Bay Area, so I'm next to like Oakland, Alameda, San Francisco. We got really good soul food out here. Like we went out by Lake Merritt. We got all, you got the 3-inch glass that you got if you put money through. That's when you know you're getting the real soul food.
Yeah, there's a gas station in my town where they do fried chicken, taters. They cook, good. When the other people had it before, they did a little better. But these people, it's not as good like it used to be because I don't know if maybe it's not the same people cooking, and not following the same guidelines like they did. I don't, like I said, other than the day when I went out and went shopping, I stopped at the Mexican restaurant. I don't really eat out that much. I might, I mostly cook here at home because it's better that way. Saves money, plus it's a little healthier. But every now and then you want something different.
Yeah, it's so funny. There used to be a KFC in Oakland on East 4th Street. I never seen a KFC. This is how soul food you get. Never seen a KFC that served collard greens before. This KFC actually served collard greens. Yeah.
Wow,
I know.
that's great. One thing I remember KFC didn't do was rice. They did that rice bowl a few years ago, but that I had it once. That was awful. That tastes the best. If you want to get a pretty good rice, it's usually you ever come to Atlanta, and they may have one. You got to check out.
Well, I'm coming to Atlanta. Remember in August.
If you go to Atlanta, check out. If you have it in Atlanta, Bojangles. They do like a dirty rice. It's like
I love dirty rice.
It's pepper, sausage. It's pretty good. And sometimes they do pinto beans too. So sometimes I might get like one time my sister let me. She was visiting my sisters were visiting my niece, and my other sister left me her car. So I said, you know what? I went over to the next town. I do a little shopping, pick up some stuff, and I said, you know what? Let me stop by here. I get some dirty rice, and that was made some dirty rice. So I had a little bit of. I took some sliced turkey and gravy and had a little ham. I had myself my first alone Thanksgiving dinner with just everybody else was out of town. So I was at home alone having Thanksgiving dinner, and it was nice. It was something different. It was nice. But yeah, food is just a tool and a weapon for bodybuilders. And I think Mela said she might be trying to do New York too. She might do good. I know Lavinia supposed to do it. I think. Who else is doing New York? I hadn't heard that. It's gonna be a while before we found the list, but we might get some good bodies for that show. That's a big show.
It's gonna be a good season. I just think there's a lot of talent out there. There's new talent. There's people coming up. There's people coming back. Everybody's, and the lineups are gonna be good. I wish there was more shows, but that's, as long as we can get the bodies in the shows, that'll be nice. But yeah, the hits were coming there for a while, man. They're taking shows away right and left. It's getting sad, but
well, we, like I said, hoping maybe next year they can get a sponsor for the Texas Pro, because I know a couple ladies said they want to do the show. A lady I interviewed a while back, Ramona Scottson, she was wanting to do that show, make her women's bodybuilding debut. Another lady I interviewed back, her name is Brittany Parrish. She lives in Texas. She was hoping to have that show in her backyard and do it there. But now I think it changes the gears. I think Ramona might try to do, now they're bringing back Tampa. She might try to do Tampa, or she might try to do Atlanta, because she could be Atlanta and Chicago last year when it was physique. But there's, like I said again, it's opportunities that just need people to step up and, and reach out. Because I think one thing is, with the promoters, they trust certain people. If you can get enough people behind somebody like Eunice or Michelle Brandt and say, hey, this could be somebody who's going to represent our interests. We'll put up the prize money and also the sanction fees, and we'll put it through them. And whatever, we get out of it, or now you got a president that loves rich people, they can write off their taxes. Easy as that, But, it's just that people have to come to the show out, support, buy the live streams. I know they said don't do no free streaming, buy the live stream. I think the show today was I think it was the Arnold Brazil Pro Qualifier. They had it live on their, I think it was on their channel on YouTube, because I saw it, AJ posted on his.
Money to back them so they can get away with doing stuff like that too. So Got that
Yeah,
Arnie.
Arnold. Yeah, and you know when.
Arnie money. It's like that Michael money.
Yeah, that Arnold money, that,
Billion.
that Terminator money, that Conan money, that
That governor
yeah,
money.
yeah. We got here one more comment from my man Chad. Thank you, Chad, for sticking in here, brother. He says, "Brother George, thank you for the podcast. I gotta go do some crunches and push-ups. Continue to keep up on this body of mine, Miss Lori. I'll miss you tomorrow." Oh, yeah, that's cool, but I might do some crunching, but it's gonna be on some chips or something. That's the crunches I would
That
do.
sounds good. I love chips. And there's nothing like chips in a sandwich. See, me and George, we can sit and talk about food all day. We should just not have a. We should just do a food show. Like,
Well, you know what? If you ever, like I said again, you ever feel like you had the time, we can set some up. We gonna try to do something tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. I got to talk with Marilyn Yee, because she also did the Titan Pre Grand Prix with y'all. She wants to talk some stuff, and also I got my Muscle Talk Monday. We'll talk about a subject about the pros and cons of enhanced bodybuilding versus natural bodybuilding, because at this year Pittsburgh is going to be a pro qualifier for natural competitors.
good for them. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, and thing is,
Are you gonna do a post show for the Triple O? Just throwing it out.
well, I might mention it when we do our thing for on Muscle Talk Monday. I might talk about it.
I'll be in the middle of a massage.
Yeah, so we might mention it. We might talk about the winners like that and give our thoughts to it. But the big thing is that but maybe
But if you decide you want to throw something on in the afternoon or you get bored, let me know.
Yeah, I usually every once a month we do a thing. We do the thing with Eunice, and then we might talk about that at the end of the month. Talk about into more deep detail about Triple O and her plans and what she's doing in the other shows. But yeah, I might mention it during my podcast, because we don't, we really want to really expand to other stuff, and really talk about a lot of other things, But still, I want to still focus on women's bodybuilding. This is again from a man, Chad. He says, "Hug and kisses, Miss Lori. Thank you for the flex, baby." Yeah, she's flexing for you. Now Chad can do his crunches and do his other crunch. Yeah, there you go, guys. You got your little flex. Okay, you're happy. You're happy.
Well, see, I filled that whole screen.
Yeah, you see, you have more room now, because it was like when you have extra people here, you have to either stack them together, you have to put them together like this, or stack them in like different ways. But I hope all the best for these ladies, and I hope this show comes back. I hope most definitely prize money is raised. Maybe Jake might want to pull some of the weight, especially since you have the 5-time Miss Olympia and the 4-time Rise Phoenix champion. And remember, we were talking about earlier how sometimes things happen to athletes, and I think somebody talked about how Angela had issues with her abs when she was competing at the Olympia. That's why I feel like she did. Well, she always gonna take second, because when Andrea is on, it's hard to beat her. She was off at the Rising last year, just off, but then she switched coaches. She's working with the same guy that works with Sid, the producer. And I think from what I've seen from after I saw the Olympia and what I see now, she looks really good. And I think,
I think she's staying tighter. I think that it's hard to be at the top like that, because people are coming up and definitely everybody's after you're at the top of your game, and I just think that she looks a lot tighter, and she's in, and it seems like she's really working on the details, because she's obviously got beautiful size, but it seems like every time you see her, she's working on the details, and probably like just staying a little tighter, so because I think when she's tight and she's detailed, you really can't beat her. You really can't.
yeah, I mean, and Ashley did pretty good this year. She got 3rd place in both the Rising and the Olympia. If she was just a little bit tighter in condition, she could have got 2nd. Big disappointment when I saw how Sherry Crummy really fell down from when the year before she was in top 5. Michaela Aycock, you saw recently Michaela has some setbacks. She's dealing with some mental issues herself too. And I think she's thinking of maybe not competing this year. We have here my man Davis Adams, haven't seen in a long time. He says hello, thank you, brother. Also from my man Chad, he says, I see you, baby, woo wee. And he says this, he says, enjoy the rest of your birthday night.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
I appreciate
So,
you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard because I think too that there's a lot of women out there who are carrying those really nice full muscle bellies and size, and it's hard if you're one of those and if you're one of the competitors that as you lean out, it's you don't want to you kind of lose some muscle mass and size, and so I see that in some competitors, and I was having that problem too. So it's building up that size and keeping that full look into the show. So how do you do that balance of having those full muscle bellies but keeping that super conditioned look, right? Because some people, you get so conditioned and so dry, you lose some size, and you get some of these women are like mastered. They just have those full muscle bellies, and then you add that conditioning, and they're hard to beat for sure. And Andrea, women who can do that, she can bring the conditioning and the full muscle bellies in.
Yeah, like I know we were talking with Tina, how because she's working with her old coach, Melody Specco, and Tina when she was at Triple O, this is the best look she had.
Yeah,
I mean,
she brought a really tremendous look.
yeah, and I mean she looked great. I felt like she could have placed a little higher, but
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
It's pro bodybuilding. It's conditioning, a little politics, a little popularity, a lot of conditioning.
Yeah.
It's in every sport and every level of everything in the planet. So
yeah, politics, like I think if you take politics out of it, I think who deserves to win deserves to win. This is a debate that I think I was watching one guy, Tamer's brother Tariq, talk about how he don't like Sharonka Hitton's look, but Sharonka looks more like Wynn's physique than Sarah Vilgas. Sarah, she comes in just grainy, styrated. She got glutes you can shred cheese with. And the thing was that physique was supposed to be more softer, more feminine. Still had those looks like women's bodybuilding, but not too much like it. But if you're not following the guidelines that you set and that the judge is supposed to follow, then everybody's going to chase after a certain look. Yes, they're going to chase after Andrea because she's top of the top. You go chase after someone like Sarah. I mean, it's just you have to when you ask yourself, is the risk worth the reward?
I love the risk. But are you talking about like risk as far as health, or risk as just getting as shredded as you can to be competitive?
Well, it's the same thing. You're getting shredded as you can. It's also going to risk to your health because we just had a young lady who's passed away about last month ago, and she wasn't competing at the Arnold Classic.
That's something that I don't have any really information. That was kind of strange because she wasn't even competing, and there was a dehydration problem. So I don't know what was going on with that. That's like there's enough information to have an opinion, but I do think that I like to be as conditioned as possible because I think that that's what really shows how dedicated you are. But I think at the end of the day, you also have to be aesthetic, right? So for your division. So yeah, you want to bring in that conditioning to the edge, but it still has to look good too. You know what I'm saying? You can't look like you can't look like the last hot dog at the 7-Eleven. The one that's been there all day.
I used to work at a gas station. We used to sell hot dogs too, and at
So
the end of the night,
one.
you take that. You don't throw them out usually. Sometimes you take them home. But the guy said after a while we couldn't take the bread too, so we had to take the hot dogs itself. So, But yeah, it's just about you have to make a decision what's best for you, and sometimes you have to, like people say, don't always have to listen to your coach. You have to really listen to your own body. And I think one thing, she's young. She was young, and I think she really maybe tried to rush it a little bit. She was 20 weeks out, so just take it slowly. When you get to the time when you get close to it, then you need to do it, but not too soon. Enjoy your life. Be young. Do what you like to do.
It's a long sport, so you need to if you need to correct things, you need to back off and correct things. Even at my age, I'm kind of in a sprint. I started late. I like to push, but if I have a problem, then I'll sit back for a few months because usually those problems can be rectified with time. it takes, like within 6 months or so. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people, like, especially when you're young, you just don't need to push that hard and fast. You can take that time to build, a good physique and take care of yourself too.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you're an older competitor, because I'm like, you get into menopause and stuff, and I'm not really, worried about like my fertility and I don't really have a lot of hormones left, and so just like there's like but when you're young, you have to take all those things in consideration and your health. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. With most young people, you want everything hot, ready, and fresh like a pizza right there and now. But it takes time. Like I've been
Bodybuilding
told.
doesn't work like that. Bodybuilding doesn't work like that. We know that. That's why when you do shows.
Yeah, because I've been told, you really treat it like a marathon. Take your time, and then when you get to coastal edge, then you can sprint to the goal line when you feel like you have enough time to do it. But it's about the choices you make, and you can't always put it on the coach. But also, there are guys who also are not that responsible either. I think right now they're saying they're going to put a new thing called work with NSM, ASM something. I saw because this just because this situation happened, where there's been others that happened before, but now you want to jump up and do this now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're coming into a show like that week, like where Gabby's at too, like when you're like 3 days, 2 days, 48 hours, having a coach like hers who knows you for a long time. Like my coach actually knew me for a long time, and my new coach is getting to know me, and so peaking for a show is very important. It's very nuanced. You can miss that peak. There's shows I feel like I looked good a week out, like I almost peaked a little early, I feel like, and then I feel like I brought a different body to the show. So that stuff's like super nuanced, and that you learn about yourself, and how to refeed yourself, and when to carb up, and how to do it, and how much you can deplete, and how flat you can get, and things like that. And that's just stuff you learn over time, and you learn about your body over time.
Yeah, but sometimes you make mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. That's the thing, is it's good when you learn from it and you don't have to do it again. But if you continue doing the same thing and not learning from it, you're not going to progress. This is, like I said, it's a tough sport, especially for young women physically. You change your body. You're developing certain parts of you that's not usually seen as very aesthetic, especially for a woman. But because you're in a sport where you have to work on those things, you have to have the cat shoulders, you have to have the the great back, the glutes tie-ins, the abs. Everything has to come together, because you're presenting a body that is just amazing, but also it's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard work, and it's not a completely universally accepted physique. So you gotta, obviously a lot of the other divisions are more accepted than women's bodybuilding, and it just takes so much work and time. So it's definitely, you do something because you love, because you're not making money, you're not accepted by the norm. Even in our own industry, we're still kind of like, they respect our work, but we're not exactly, I don't think we get the same hype, for the amount of work we do. But so.
Well, I wish that people recognize that and give y'all women y'all fair show, but still, y'all also have to really get yourself out there. We talk about this out, when I reach out to ladies for interviews, tell me I'm shy, I don't want to, but don't be shy. It's not like it's one thing, you're out in front of a crowd, bunch of people, half naked, so you can't sit here and talk to me when we're talking, you're 100 miles away from or 1,000 miles from where I'm at, but we're just talking to each other on the screen. It's not like you're full of other people here. There might be right now 8 or 7 people right here in the chat, but they're here because they are fans. They enjoy seeing you ladies. That's why I do my live streams. I do them live, so they can get a chance to participate and ask questions and say hello. I know other people, they do lives but don't really interact, because I want the interaction for these guys, because they want the opportunity to talk to these ladies. I mean, never in their life ever actually have a conversation with you about bodybuilding, but just the opportunity to come on here and talk, hear your stories, and like guys like my man Lawrence and Chad and Davis, and also Damon and KL will come here and say, hey, who support you, because that's the thing, is it takes support, And I know the guys out there, they see bodybuilding as a fringe, and also women who are in it are part of a fringe sport, and also all those stuff that's involved in it. Like as I talked before, like a lot of the fetish stuff that's go arounds in it, and the beat and meat websites and all that stuff like that. But that's just something to help maybe some of the income. But this sport, if it was more like a lucrative sport where there's a lot of money made, hey, you won't have to need a real job or do those other things. That's the thing about that.
It's funny. I'm really at this point with the bodybuilding and everything that I really don't judge any of that, because all the divisions are doing it, and everyone's on OnlyFans, and everyone's got their butt hanging out, and from bikini to bodybuilding, everyone has their ass hanging out, and
That's the ass and titties too.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't see where like bodybuilding is real fetishy, because I mean we carry a lot of mass, and of course there are people who just like to see bodybuilding. They see these big girls, but everybody's out there with their stuff hanging out. Like there's no cutoff between women's bodybuilding and bikini. Like everybody's doing their thing. And as far as like the femininity thing, is like, does that killing bodybuilding? I don't think so. I think that as we are progressing in this like society today, if women want to choose that path where they want their bodybuilding, and they're going for mass, and they're going for that, they want to be the Dorians of women's bodybuilding, and they want to be those mass busters. God bless them. Let them do their thing. And they win. They win, and so not always does the most feminine, beautiful bodybuilder win. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it matters. I think that bodybuilding is an art, and it's an individual art, and you bring to it what you bring to it. So everybody gets in these debates, and it's usually men. I hate it. Not saying anything bad, but it's usually men debating about women's femininity, which I think is funny, because it's like, it's just up to the individual. It's like it's what you want to do with it. And I just think we're at that place where like I love it. I just like, you look at some of these girls and you're just like, wow, that's dedication, man. Like I know physically I probably couldn't even put on that kind of size.
Yeah, okay. Like as Naja Kobaleva, she's won the Romania Muscle Fest last year.
Oh, I love her.
Huge. There's also
awesome.
Yeah.
I just love
I
her.
can't wait to. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see what she does in Olympia. I mean, can't wait.
Yeah, and I'm so glad the Russian girls and the Eastern girls are coming back, because I just think it adds this like flavor. It really makes it a true Olympia. You're gonna have all these different these physiques, and we're gonna see where the chips fly, where they land. That's always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
here we got from our man Davis Adams. He says right. So folks, we don't hold Lori too long. We do appreciate the time she give us.
Yeah, I gotta go eat.
Yeah, we have predictions
around the kitchen.
Yeah, we have predictions. So we're gonna say, since this is about the Triple O, what is your prediction for the Triple O?
Well, my first prediction was I fucking was rooting for going for Chelsea, who I still think has a great chance of taking that show. She's got everything. She's kind of the whole package. So I thought it was going to be a battle between her and Teresa. Gabby, the judges love Gabby, so I know she's going to be in there. She judges well. She always brings great conditioning. Mila turned up as the wild card. She turned out. So depending on how she's peaking or what show she wants to peak for, she's definitely going to throw in a monkey wrench. I know if I was in that show, I'd be like, okay, now it's getting complicated. But and then I love Lena. I mean, all the girls in there are like bringing great physiques. And who else is coming in? There's
we have Sika Givens.
Yeah.
You have Helen Davis. She ain't competed in the last 5 years. And Lena's not doing the show, but we all know
she's doing Vancouver.
She might be doing Vancouver. I'm not certain.
Okay.
She looks in. If you see some videos of her, follow her. She looks in great shape. I mean, she came second last year. She could have won it. It just came in just a little tighter. Maybe she should have just sit out and maybe did Atlanta, and maybe give us more time to come in a little bit of condition. But she might do that show since Judy done it twice. Back to back. She took second to Sherry in 2023, and then she turned around and she wins it 2024. I think how she won her first Olympic qualification was, I think she won the Toronto Super Show in 2023. And
What's your prediction?
well,
George?
I say top 3 is gonna be, I think, Teresa, Chelsea. I feel it might be, if she comes in condition, Mela. And to finish out the 5, I'm gonna say Gabby and Tiana Flex.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice lineup. It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. It's, it could all change. Like I said, that's the nuances of peaking for a show. These are the nuanced hours. These last couple hours. Because you could be thinking that you're coming in and bringing something, and then that little just something happens. Something doesn't cut right.
Or you can be off, or holding water, like you said, and or just
stress. All these little things, man. That can alter your physique. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be. But anyway, I can't wait to see it tomorrow morning. I can't wait to log on and support this show. And if anybody is watching, please buy the live stream and support this show.
Yeah, because all you got to go to, you can go to the Triple O Dynasty IG, and also they have Triple O Dynasty webpage.
Yep.
You can find the link for the live stream. I posted it in one of my podcasts a while back.
Yeah, you can go to my Instagram and also get all the information. I have Triple O Dynasty on there.
Yeah, because I already ordered mine. I should get it tomorrow. It's gonna be 12 o'clock my time for this, so I got enough time to get up in the morning, wash my face, scratch my ass, and
that's what I'm gonna probably get up and go train, because thanks to George, I'm gonna be up eating until 11 o'clock tonight.
What? Why are you blaming me?
I'm behind on like 3 meals now, but I'll be up eating at like 11. But that's okay. I love you. But yeah, really, it's a show we need to support, and we need to support Bad Rap, and all the women who are just trying to make this industry happen, even though it feels like some days the hits just keep coming. So
yeah, it's like I was talking to Eunice one day. She had some bad luck. She left her keys in the gym and stuff like that, and I said, I tell you, it's that old song from, remember, Hee Haw said, "Isn't what for bad luck, I have no luck at all."
That's what you feel like some days in women's bodybuilding. It's like, I'm gonna get ready for this show that they just got rid of, and they're bringing it back. Oh, but then they got rid of it. Oh, they're gonna do yeah. You're just like, whatever. I'm just gonna go to the gym. Whatever.
Yeah, just go to the gym. But like maybe one day, my dear lady, if I do get a chance to, I'll maybe, if you ever do a show within my area, maybe like I was planning to go to Atlanta, but like I said, I'm going through some situation. I was trying to get my car. I'm thinking about saving for a car and get a down payment for next year, because the guy who's working on it, I'm not going to try to fuss or fight. Okay, it's not even my car. My sister gave it to me because she got herself a new truck. It was doing pretty good for a while, but then it started giving me problems. You got it fixed for one guy. One guy said, "You know what? Forget it." I was hoping to go see the show, because I talked to my niece. I was telling her I was going to stay with her in Atlanta because she stays there. But I think now I got to really focus on something else that I need the most. So maybe next year. Yeah. Okay. Maybe next year I would love to go to a show, see some of your ladies, give you a big hug. I'm not gonna give you one of my puppy hugs, because like I never touched a buff chick before. I'm lying, I did it before. So
well, I'm gonna sign off, my friend.
All right, my friend. I thank you for the time, and also shout out to Gabriella.
I'll text you tomorrow morning when I get on live stream with the show.
All righty. Well, we're going to say a shout out to the lovely Mrs. Gabriella Morris. Wish her best of luck in the show. Shout out to all the other competitors. Wish them all the best of luck. Shout out to the Triple O Dynasty, Andrea. She's my girlfriend. Yep. And I hope we hope we see the show next year, bigger and better. Maybe might bring Zeke back. That'd be great. But folks, the lovely Ivy for the lovely Miss Lori A. Conley. What's the A stand for? I always wonder.
Allison.
Allison. Oh, Allison. That's so white bread.
I'm like Allison. Allison. Lori Allison.
Yes, that's so cute. But we wish you best of luck, my dear lady.
You can't say my name and not smile.
Well, I know you bring a smile. You like the other guy. Sometimes the other guy like to say, "Let's put a smile on that face." Yeah.
Okay, my friend, you have a great Friday.
Oh, you had a better one. Mwah. So, folks,
Bye.
say good night to lovely Mrs. Lori Allison Conley, and wish her best of luck in the coming year. She's doing effects for you guys. So put away your tissue and your lotion. Be good.
Okay,
So,
I
thank
gotta
you.
go. I'm
All right,
stuck.
you gotta.
Bye.
Yeah, go feed the machine. Folks, I appreciate the ladies who were here. The lovely Mrs. Gabrielle Morrison, the lovely Miss Lori Allison Conley. Today was her birthday today, so happy birthday to her. 55? Damn, girl. Yeah, you're older than me. You look better than me. Well, man should never compare herself to one, but hey, she's in better shape than me. But I'd like to thank the guys who was here. My man Davis Adams who came through. He says this. So Davis says, have a good night. Thank you, brother. You have a better one. My man Davis Adams, Chad Davis, my man KL the Wanderer, Balls Deep, had seen you wild too, Balls Deep, and also Damon J. Again, guys, if you want to watch Triple O Dynasty, it's only $40. $40. I know that'll be a tank of gas for some people, but if you got paid this weekend, you can afford it. $40, do it. I already paid my pay-per-view. I get in the email tomorrow. It's gonna be for East Coast here, it's gonna be 12 o'clock. So go ahead, do what you need to do. You gotta do laundry, you gotta run some errands, do that, and come back home and watch the show. And if we support the show, enough people buy the live stream, enough people go to shows. This helps them in the long run. This makes the show desirable and want to be seen. We're in bodybuilding, like I said again, it needs all the help it gets. And it gets mostly from us, the fans, and also people out there who might want to look at something, maybe take advantage, and who always been curious about bodybuilding and want to know some about it. Feed curiosity, check it out, go to a show. I wish I would go one this year. It would be great if I could have gone to Atlanta this year. I would love to see Lori, but like I said again, I'm switching gears. I'm going to see if I can try to save for a car. Better than try to get this one fixed, because it was, my sister had it for a long time and it was used anyway. It was a 97 Hyundai, 97. Come on, that's nearly 30 years old. I think after a while, wear and tear up, it's gonna wear out. You really got to really know how to take care of a car. I don't have that skill set. But folks, I think my man we're here. I think the lovely ladies that were here support us. Watch this if you missed some of the video, and follow me on my social medias. And also the links are to both to Lori and to Gabby. You want to follow them. And also they have PayPal. So if you want to donate to them, that helps out. I know Lori wants to do a couple of shows for the year. And also I know Gabrielle's planning to try to do the Master because she's already qualified from the last year's Triple O. But show support, show interest. Don't be a weird guy. Know the picks. Anyway, you should be on my way to your page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe. Good night, good luck, God bless, and see you tomorrow.